for the particular the RERA sector. So, who establishes this particular Central Advisory Council is the central government. Now, the Minister of the government in charge dealing with housing will be the chairmanship of the Central Advisory Council. Now, 10 members minimum who will represent the interest of real estate industry, consumers, real estate agent, laborers, construction, non-governmental organizations, academic research, all of that. Not more than 10 persons, consists of not more than 10 members will be representing. Now, what is the functions of this particular Central Advisory Council? An appellant tribunal is formed. Now, what is an appellant tribunal? Is nothing but if you have any issue, you will have to submit your complaint. So, this particular tribunal will help you resolve it. Now, if the tribunal does not resolve it, you can go to the High Court. High Court, then Supreme Court. So, basically, first you need to go to the tribunal. Establishment of the real estate tribunal. Now, who shall establish it is none other than the appropriate government. For each state, there will be one tribunal. Now, if the appropriate government thinks that there's one or more benches is required, they can appoint one or more benches for this particular appellant tribunal. Now, the appellant tribunal will consist of at least one judiciary member and one administrative or technical member. So, administrative or technical member is none other than somebody who has lots of knowledge in the real estate sector. Now, if the appropriate government feels that two states or two small union territories can have one, they can also appoint only one appellant tribunal. So any decision made by the authority can be appealed before the appellant tribunal. So basically, the authority first you will give your complaint to the authority. If you're not happy with the authority, you will go to the appellant tribunal. Now, you're not happy with the tribunal also, you can do an appeal to the High Court. So, I mentioned here that within 60 days, you can appeal if you are not satisfied with whatever the appellant tribunal has given. Within 60 days, you can apply to the High Court. Applications which is required, all of that is mentioned. And term is also mentioned, so you all can go through that. Okay. Now, coming to the last part is on the company secretary. So, what do you think is the role of a company secretary in RERA? In the RERA project, what is the role of company secretary? What do you think is the role of a company secretary in RERA? There is a separate section of role of company secretary. So, you should know what is the role of company secretary. Company secretary under the RERA Act. What do you think will be the role of the company secretary, of a company secretary?
Guiding them about law and finances.
Advisory role? We can call it advisory role.
Yes.
What else? Anybody?
Statutory audits.
Audits? No, not specific audit. No, not audit. Any other points? What do you think a company secretary can do as per the RERA Act? Yes, Sanjay, I didn't hear you.
Ma'am, CS can verify whether the documents are correct or not, ma'am.
Yes, so documentations, verification, whether it is drafting of the documents, yes, a CS is responsible for that. Say for if you're working, say in real estate company, then who is responsible? Who do you think? If okay, say if you're working in Shobha, and there should be a team that registers, gives all the documentation on the website, all of that. So that team is none other than the company secretary's team. So all the documents for each project is submitted by the company secretary. So for some projects also, the head company secretary might be the authorized um, representative of the company also. So then a company secretary team is the team that does registration on the RERA website. Again, for real estate agents, now if they cannot go on the website and do it by themselves, they can contact a company secretary's practicing company secretary team who can help them out with registering on the RERA website. Again, legal representation. Now we've seen appellant tribunal, we have seen the authority. Now if you have any complaint, you usually go to a lawyer. So you can also go to a company secretary and they can help you out with, they can appear on behalf of you in the tribunal. Now I'm not sure if you all are aware of NCLT. Are you all aware of NCLT?
Yes, ma'am.
So can a company secretary appear in NCLT also? So usually lawyers appear in court. In an NCLT, can a company secretary appear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So even in NCLT, a company secretary can appear on behalf of the client. Again, there is something called compounding of offense. So if, as per the law, if you should have submitted certain documents and you have not submitted, and there is a delay, a company secretary can apply for compounding of offense. Okay. So now, role of company secretary. Now, if you want to get into the real estate sector, you can give financial advisory services. You can give any applicable provisions, any advice on any applicable provisions of the act for the real estate project. You can apply for registration and extension procedure. Any obligations, functions, duties, you can help them out with any of the duties for the promoter. Penal provisions of the Act, funding options for real estate projects. You can advise them on funding. You can advise them on tax aspects, and you can also give them legal and regulatory compliance advices. Now, as a legal representation, you can appear before any authority, like I said, any authority for any real estate project. You can also appear in the tribunal to, you can represent any person before the tribunal also, and any other authority for any purpose under the RERA Act. So basically, you can appear as for promoter, you can appear on behalf of an allottee, you can also appear on behalf of an agent. So if you have someone's put a case on the real estate agent, you can also appear on behalf of the agent also. So the role of a company secretary in RERA projects as a legal representative and a normal ordinary role, details have been mentioned. Okay, we are done with RERA. Any doubts that you all have so far? Anyone's got any doubts in whatever we have done today?
Ma'am, can you explain NCLT, ma'am?
See, NCLT in as per Companies Act, if you have any issue, you will have to go to the NCLT. If you are doing any merger, if you are doing any acquisitions, you need approvals in advance. Then you have to apply to the NCLT. So if you want to do a merger, only if NCLT approves it, that's when you can get the merger, you can go ahead with the merger. Now, recent merger was HDFC with HDFC's other concerns, right? So they had to take approval from RBI. They had to, after taking approval from RBI, they had to take approval from NCLT also. So any merger, any acquisition, any case regarding insolvency, say if vendors are not paying money, if I have a company and a vendor has not paid me for years together, I can file a case in NCLT. I can tell them, see, this company is, insolvent. They're not paying me money. Please shut down the company and give me my money. So all cases regarding Companies Act goes to NCLT. Before it was Company Law Board. Now it is NCLT as per the new Companies Act.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Whatever we've done,